Alright. What's up, guys? So here's my newest project, I guess you could call it. It's kind of a longer video. And I basically just wanted to take my editing to the next level. Whatever that means. It's my second video after the just like slapping a commentary on the Kronos video from maybe like a week ago now. Um, Basically, I wanted to play an hour of speedrunning. Oh, the Hebo and Iconic Camp in here. I had an idea to make a video of just an hour of speedrunning with Izanami, and I thought Izanami might be one of the best gods to do it. I'll talk about that a little bit later. As I fight to the death with Thorns. Boom! 67 damage from Thorns. The Hebo's turning a lot of damage, but the problem here is he only has 2 health pots with his build, and that's just the mage kind of problem right now, is whether you go Bancroft's tier 2 or Rod tier 2, you can only ever get 2 pots. So you're always going to get outgrinded. I've only got 3 with Chalice, but it's still enough to super out sustain this guy in this game. So, yeah, just trying to check on blue, make sure he doesn't get blue for free. But yeah, basically this is going to be... Okay, the original plan was hopefully I could get like 6 games or something in an hour and just like mash them all together, like a bunch of 5-minute F6s, and if not, like maybe end the game before 10 minutes. That was in my head when I started making this video, but it went so much different than that. It was a learning process, this whole it's only 3 games, spoiler alert, but I get matched up against Dragon in game 2 and Infamous Jesse in game 3. So these guys are like good seasoned players. So this game kind of is kind of like a speed running with Izanami gone wrong, if you will, if you lack the cringe. But so this game, I'm against the Hebo. I mean, he's fighting back really well, but the thing with Izanami is she's just so annoying to deal with because she doesn't use mana to clear the wave unless she wants to accelerate it with it too, like I just did. And like the Hebo's like kind of using his ult for tempo here, but the reality is he doesn't have health sustain with his build. He never will. And I opted for a really early Stormseeker here, so I got Health Chalice on my, like, off the cuff. So he just can never keep up with me in a longer fight. Especially if he wants to spam, then the blue buff's kind of keeping him afloat, but it's not good enough, really. And as you can see, I can kind of win that even with Stormseeker, which isn't the best item in the game, without, any stacks at the start of the game, so... yeah, basically, I wanted to put myself to a bigger test, kind of a longer video with way more opportunity to edit different things. Still nothing crazy, just like some text here and there to show, like title it game 1, 2, and 3. A lot of transitions. I split up the video a lot. I sped up a lot of the downtime. This game I don't actually speed up the backs and stuff and cut them out because it's not very necessary, and this is like basically just pointing out the not perfect game, but kind of a well-played game from start to finish. If you just want to watch this fight, which, I mean, that's kind of the perfect fight. The reason I wanted to get Thorns, remember, Thorns, they buffed it in Season 11, so it actually gives 15% mitigation now. As soon as you prop it, so it's just 15% mitigation for 5 seconds. So if you think about it, like a kind of almost like a defense relic, but also when it does pop, it actually does good damage too. So it kind of has that double whammy now. So I think it's not awful to get it first, especially if you want it in your ideal like 2 relic build. Since I'd want something like sprint later on in the build, Or maybe even Horrific, but Horrific's not great against Ebo because of his 2, so... yeah, so far so good. I've literally got 400 gold on the guy, a kill, and I'm actually double stacking, which is... I don't know, over the course of this next, like... well, you guys know how long the video is. Over the course of the next kind of 40 minutes to an hour, I think I improved a lot with Izanami. My mechanics are fine with her even in this game 1, like I know what I'm doing. But I did learn a few nuances and a few mistakes I was making with the build. Like I went double stacking here, and in this game I don't get punished for it, but I think it's actually really weak in hindsight. If you think about how Stormseeker is at its best with 999 stacks, you'll never get to 999 games in a serious game against a good player, but you it's not going to be good until you get like 100 stacks on it. That's when it's starting to get really efficient. Well, that's my kind of note, is 100 stacks is really good. You know, 50 stacks is okay. You know, at least it's a cheap item. And same with Devos, it's not very efficient until like you've stacked it up. So here I slam a 500 pot. I'm level 11, so level 10 is the first time you can buy a red pot. Slam the red pot for extra power. I've got the tier 2 dominance because I want to rush dominance to kill his tower faster. And there's all sorts of reasons, by the way. I wanted to do a speedrunning video. It turned into not that, and that's why I think I'm kind of excited to show you guys these games, because I think a better video came out of it with what happened, in a way. But like this game is kind of going the way I expected it a little bit. There missed my 2 a little bit. He ulted away, but like he's trying to hang on to any buffs he can. I think he doesn't realize how strong I really am. I got the red pot. I'm double stacking up, but I'm still way stronger than him with my XP lead. And this game, I killed him there, and I don't think I would have been able to kill the Titan, but the game is over. Look at that, bam! Transition into game 2 versus Amat. Huh? You see that? Me from a week ago would not be able to do that. Think about that. I would literally be incapable of doing that. So, just kind of mooching around this game 2. So this is a guy called IX Dragon IX. I could add an image of him with like 1,000,000 stars on Amat. He's like a full Amat one trick. He really, I mean, he's played more Amat than I think anyone else on the whole of Smite, probably. He really knows what he's doing. He, like, I know he didn't speed hack, or he's not, I don't think he's a cheater, but he just lagged away from me there. I mean, he only probably avoided 1 auto, but, you know, come on. So yeah, this is like, I'm already, like, kind of getting annoyed. It's really hard to do anything. I can instantly clear the wave, but so can he. Look at him. Bam. Okay, 3. Yeah, he's already killed my archers. I horrific him for poke, he horrificed me. And because of my build, there is a cost to going this Stormseeker first. I just cut out the back in the interest of saving time, but and from here on out, I think I speed up or cut out backs just to kind of get a feel for doing it. But like, I feel super powerless. I can one-shot waves, so can he. Stormseeker is not that strong, so I'm not hitting him very hard, and I'm running out of mana a lot. Like, I've got a blue buff now, so it's not so bad, but I find this game very kind of annoying, and I think the deeper issue is that Amat is quite miserable to play against. Look, I'm trying to fight her. She's 2'd the wave, but she also just ults the wave. Just to like win a poke trade and get all the minions so she doesn't have to lose the gold to tower. Also, a little nuance about Izanami that I absolutely love is that she double hits the rock with every auto. Rama can too, but he uses his astral arrows to do that. And killing the rock quick is just 1 extra step in like clearing things quick and being able to pressure leads quicker. So here I'm really happy getting any auto I can. It looks a little bit like I'm trying to bully him, but really, I'm just trying to get every Stormseeker stack I possibly can. All the farm as well. But 12 stacks, but also Dragon is very good at not kind of showing where he is. He's also very good at just backing as much as he can and just not... He never like fights you for no reason usually. He'll fight you if he feels like he can win the fight and just make you back or maybe kill you. And he's got red buff now, so I'm really scared of him. And I'm trying to get... The only reason I'm stepping up still is to get those Stormseeker stacks, because that's how you get any value at all. In hindsight, watching this, the the transitions when I start backing to when I get back are pretty harsh, aren't they? But hey man, maybe I can fix that in the long term. We'll see. But I'm getting all the rocks. I'm trading quite well on farm, but I'm not like I'm not building this huge gold lead. I'm getting a few Stormseeker stacks, which feels good. Now he's actually fighting me. He's got the Vital Amplifier, so he is very strong. I think if I horrificed him in combination with the Silence, there was a chance I kill him there. And that was a mistake. I'm always a guy who saves relics. In my opinion, too much. And I think if there's one thing I could do better in Duel specifically, in Conquest saving relics is kind of natural. You don't want to be like wasting your beads every time you get ganked or every time someone stuns you. But in Duel you can really waste your relics to get a small advantage. So here I think she's going for my blue, and I think the blues are the same timers, but they're not, sadly. So I kind of just took a big L on that. I don't think I could have fought her on blue, and I don't think I could have out-secured her too. So, kind of hard on that one. So I've got this Devos into Stormseeker, and I mean, it's easier to say this in hindsight, but you'll kind of see how rough the trading is. I'm playing as Izanami. My goal is to speedrun. Look, I'm pulling Bull Demon. I know I'm not really going to do it, but I think you get Devo stacks for like doing damage to creeps. So I think you get Devo stacks from that, I'm not sure. But look, I'm okay with this fight because I'm getting lots of Stormseeker stacks, but look, I just got rinsed. I mean, if she guessed exactly where I was in terms of invis, I was dead. But she dashed my ult. I thought I would silence her out of it, and I'm dead. I mean, you just hate to see that. And you hate the slapping sound that I just edited in, because I'm just trying everything. And, I mean, I do think that part of the problem in that fight was my build. I went Stormseeker Devos. I was super weak. I couldn't be weaker. And she just had a Vital Amplifier and I think defense. So I'm just getting absolutely railed here. I'm only taking this fight even though it's terrible for me. Oh no, I think she went Amplifier into Equinox, if I recall correctly. So I'm only fighting for stacks, but it's like I'm like almost inting just for stacks. And here we go, back again. It's like the same old thing. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot, like, it's just, this feels really bad. And the other issue I'm starting to realize, and I don't know what she's doing there, she's trolling me now. She's already in a position where she can troll me. But it feels really bad because with 3 items, I have no semblance of mana in my build. No breastplate, no dominance, no nothing, and it feels like really bad. I'm just trying to get some Stormseeker stacks and stay, and honestly, I don't like. I can't get the rock. Melee characters in general have the advantage with the rock. I missed my 2, and then bam, I'm just gonna be for the rest of the game, feels like. And the Amma, she goes for another roll on me, and I got slapped again. I mean, is that not so harsh, that sound? It's fine. I can probably turn it down. And here, obviously I died. While I was dying, she didn't reset and she went for my tower. And this would have been a good time for me to kill her. But I couldn't even kill her. I don't know, maybe I missed a couple of those there. I'm just so weak, and if I had like any other item than Devo's, I think she's dead too. But like, I'm feeling like mistakes were made this game, and my speed running challenge is like officially over, and I basically have to rethink what I'm gonna do with this game. And this is another thing IX Dragon always does. He starts with going for like an auto build, but then he goes full cooldown with Amat. And I think that's really smart. I think it's really, really smart, because then the downtime between when her 2 and her 3 are up, and her ult is really big. It's like she can ult me once. If I beads it, then she can ult me again, and I think that's just massive for a god like Amat. But you know, I'm just trying to kill creeps. All I'm trying to do this game now that I'm behind is get as many Stormseeker stacks as I can without dying. There, I got what, 10 stacks or something? Running away, my tail tucked between my legs. I think I got a great horrific off there, and it really reduced her damage. And I don't even think I needed a beads per se, but I did kill her. And I'm starting to think that there's a chance again. So we can kind of see how it plays out, basically. What's tough is I don't think I can get much more than the tower. He already killed Bull Demon. So it's like, oh no, he didn't. He didn't already kill Bull Demon, my bad. But I couldn't kill it with how low I was, and so all I could get was the tower. I finally got the dominance, so I feel like I have some kind of damage so far, but I don't have that silver branch. So when I think the Stormseeker becomes the best item in the game once you have silver branch too. Until then, I don't think it's good, like really at all. Until you have a bunch of Stormseeker stacks and silver branch, because it turns all that attack speed, kind of all that spare attack speed, into power. So here, I mean, this guy is so good at running away when it's just not good for him. And Amat is just such an abuser of that, because she'll just out movement speed you no matter what, and she can one-shot the wave. So it's like, it feels like there's no win in sight when you like play against this. So yeah, I mean, we're playing the weird Bull Demon dance, but it's like, I don't even know what I'm here for. I turn, I think, oh, I'll get a few stacks and just dash away, but it's like, even if I dashed away straight away, I don't think it would have done anything. Here, I didn't want to just edit out the backs so that you guys could see like what happens, which is she went Bull Demon, cleared the wave, and like back to base itself. So I just speed up the kind of downtime here, just to make the video not like over an hour long. Also, nothing is happening. It is just literally boring. So yeah, I mean, I'm sticking with my game plan. I'm not feeling too bad right now about double stacking, since it is very strong to double stack. But here, I horrific her. I think I auto her once with my 1 activated. I probably should have activated my 1 earlier if I was gonna horrific her. But I've got my silver branch. I'm not actually that weak. I do a lot of damage. And here is where I think I made one of the biggest mistakes I make this game, despite my too early mistakes that I make, which is Midgard. I think, oh, I'll try it out, but if I really thought about it, horrific is my anti-attack speed. When we all then fight each other, I've got anti-attack speed with my horrific. I think some part of me thinks that double defense is going to make her not do any damage, because she doesn't have like serrated or anything. I think she's getting an XE, which means she needs to fully stack it up before she does a lot of damage. But in my head, I think Midgard is going to be better than it is. I think the slow is going to counter her. But look at her, she's just chopping me up, bro. And here, she gets an ult on me, but I just get in, so I don't beads. I think I missed my ult, which is pretty horrid. And like, sure, I'm treading water here. My Titan's 60%, but I'm not even building damage at this point. That's, I think, what feels the worst. Like, I think if I was building another damage item, it would feel a lot better. But here I'm walking up again. It's like, I don't know. I do want stacks. Maybe I should be sticking a little bit further back, but her 2's giving her a lot of value. I'm actually doing good damage to her, and I think I need to hit a couple more basics there and I actually kill her. And she sprints away, so she's just out. A couple more basics there, I think she's dead, because she kind of messed up and took too much damage. But there's my beads. So even though she messed up and they had an opportunity to kill her, I actually got punished because they beads to try to kill her. But that's my mess up, you know, missing so many basics. So I'm feeling strong with this mid guard, but in hindsight, even I can tell how terrible it's going to be. Versus just getting another damage item. I can lifesteal more, I can like hit her way harder. I'm horrific, I'm slow. I'm hoping just to get away from her now. But she's already killed my Phoenix again, which means my Titan isn't going to heal. And I just don't have beads for the stun, so I do miss 1 or 2 basics there, but I don't think it matters. She's going to kill the Titan anyway. So I'm feeling very miserable, but there were a couple little points that I learned from that game, which I think helps this game a lot more, even though I'm thinking, this is ridiculous, man. I wanted to do a speed run with Izanami like for an hour a day. I've just played against Dragon, who didn't fight me for 15 minutes until he was way stronger than me. And then just insta-gived me twice, and that was enough. Backdoored my Titan after that. So I'm thinking, this is a seriously gone wrong video, for lack of a better expression. So, I mean, I don't throw in the towel, because you always have the opportunity to have fun against good players. But I know I have to play with some respect. He actually went for blue at the start rather than red, which I think was really interesting. Maybe that's like a tier thing. Maybe it's like a, oh, he doesn't think he has to give me 2 buffs to 1 if he goes tier, but I have beads. So as long as I secure correctly, which I just did, I think it works out just fine. And I kind of won the start, you could say, quote unquote. Maybe I'm supposed to win harder? I don't really know, and that's like, I think against a good player who just makes sure there's a dice roll on a buff, I don't know if there is, I'm supposed to win this start harder. If I ran to his blue at the start, what if he just fought me? What if he won the trade really hard with Blink? Would I have the beads? Would I be able to get away? Probably be able to get away, but maybe I could have stalled the blue, maybe that would have been correct, but I think he had a lot of potions, so I don't think there was a winning that with my starter. So yeah, I don't know what that ult was, but I got the... I'm just looking for stacks super aggressively on Stormseeker, because I don't think it's bad, I really don't. I think it's a great starter because you can go Health Chalice off the bat. I'm a big fan of that. I've always said that's like the best thing you can do. Like if you get Dominance tier 2 or Transcendence tier 2 and a Health Chalice, it's so much value to not buy any potions all game. So I don't think it's a bad start, but a change I make, kind of based off last game and what I learned, is not to go for Devos and double down on double stacking and kind of get an item that's good right now, which is like tier 2 Tower Shield, which, you know, you turn into Berserkers, and just get that instant strength. And look at him, he full combos me and I've still got 350 health. That might have 100 to 0'd me before, but it didn't even close to kill me now. Now I get to sit back. I've got 35 HP 5, as you can see. I've got health pots going, and I'm actually not in a terrible spot. He's waiting behind the corner because he really wants to blink on me. But I'm trying to space and move a little bit awkwardly. I'm ready to reflexively ult if he does blink on me, and that can kind of mess up his plans. And now I don't care if... I ulted there because I thought he'd fearless me, obviously. But even after I miss my ult, I'm not in a terrible spot. Here I think Jesse messes up. He gives me the scepter. I think he thought I wasn't on it properly, but I end up getting pretty much my cake and eating it. I get a bunch of stacks, I get a bunch of poke, and I get the scepter. So he ults over to blue. I think he just takes the loss there, which is a really like experienced play from him. I think if he stayed on the wave forever, it would have just got worse and worse, to the point where maybe I could have got red and stalled his blue, or maybe gone to his blue and stalled red. So I like that. I think it was a sign of experience that he just ulted to blue and took the one buff that he could get. But obviously I'm building a small lead here. So, you know, I'm already further ahead of Jesse than I ever was in the Dragon game against the Amat. So, say what you want about Tyr, but Amat's not particularly strong early game either, so... Jesse's just... I think he just wants to try to outplay me. That's the reality, he just wants to outplay me. I got a nice slow, but his fearless actually kind of owned me there. But whenever a Tyr uses his abilities on you, his ability to clear the wave is always going to be so much weaker, especially in Duel where you can't get Bluestone. So yeah, I just wing shard just for a couple extra stacks of Stormseeker. I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse for saying it, but that's why a lot of plays I make seem a little bit funny. Like, why did he do that? Sell my soul for a single stack of Stormseeker at this point, you know. But yeah, no devos is kind of the first thing I changed, and then the second thing I changed is getting dominance a whole item slot earlier. So I basically skip the devos completely. I've still got that health chalice and the HP 5 from my tier 2 defense, so I do have some sustain, but the big deal is I have mana sustain, so I can use my spells and not eventually just run out. So I can use my 1 every time it's up, I can use my 2 in every fight, and I'm not just going to run out of juice eventually. So here, he gets a good flank on me, but the I don't think the blink actually did anything. He also just misses his ult. I get... As long as he's pushing me towards my tower, it's fine, but I do decide to beads anyway there, because I felt like I was too low and he could maybe kill me. But that was actually an overall win from him. He used his blink and ult, but I did use beads. It's 100, something like 60 or 70 second cooldown. So it was actually a net win, even though I beads his fearless and I didn't get, like, I didn't die or anything, but it was good for him overall. So here, I mean, every fight, what I really wanted to get is the scepter, but I did get it, right? I did get it, yeah. I think he was late to it, and then he messes up the secure on red, so I'm actually in such a good spot. And, yeah, I don't know. Jesse, I think there was 2 scepters now that I don't think he had to give me. But they certainly help, and he went for blue, which kind of forfeits his tower, and I also go for a cheeky steal, but I don't think I get it. Also, the other thing I wanted to say about Dom is that Tiers 3 actually gives a little bit of fizz defense passively all the time, even if he's in the offensive stance, but especially when he's on the defensive stance. So that, in combination with his breastplate, actually gives him enough defense to the point where my 20% pen from dominance is giving me a ton of pen. So it's not so bad that I have it like a little bit, like kind of almost too early in my build. So here, I don't know if I'm gonna actually do this Bull Demon or it's just a litmus test. Oh, it looks like I'm just gonna commit. I figure the timing's dicey, but if he wastes like even half a second in base, I can get it in time, and I can also maybe ult secure it over him. So I did go for it. And here's where I thought, you know, screw it. I've got the tower, the mid tower, I've got the Bull Demon, I'm 1k ahead, and I've got a red pot. Or I can buy a red pot. Why not slam the red pot and end this game as soon as possible? And even now, I think I like that decision. I think I love that decision that I made. Here, I think it was a mistake in hindsight to ult, but where's the beads? If I've built the 500 pot, and my goal is to send it, why haven't I beadsed his Fearless in order to win the trade? That was not the time to save beads for a rainy day, and I lose basically my entire lead. Well, I lose half my lead. That was the time for me to get the Phoenix with Bull Demon, and I had a red pot, and now he reset my red pot. If you die with a red pot, you do lose it. And he has his own red pot now, so he's just got a ton of power for some reason. Well, not some reason, he just has a ton of power. And the Bull Demon's down, and I've got no like inherent advantage now. So there's a lot kind of going for him now. Here I'm kind of happy to get a couple stacks. But honestly, I'm like kind of dancing with the devil every second here while I don't have Silver Branch. Terrible lol, obviously. I'm kind of getting owned, but I am getting some stacks, so copium. I double relic, which is like, in hindsight, it seems so obvious. I've got 1900 gold in the bank. Why? Just back and spend it, get items. But I just double relicked for some reason. I'm glad I'm leaving with my life, honestly, which I probably shouldn't be in hindsight. I should be getting that Silver Branch and fighting him with that. But yeah, also a small thing, as I just keep getting battered by constant Fearlesses. Red buff, red pot tier is no joke. I barely escaped that, by the way. It's because I wanted to go over a wall with my 3, but I realized that Chester is actually really scary, because if he actually stops my back and walks over the Chester, I'm probably dead, because he's so fast. But yeah, the other thing is he has used, I think, 2 proxy wards already, and I think he continues to use more as the game goes on. Proxy wards cost gold. They cost 75 gold. So they're not free by any means. And if you don't get any kind of actual use out of it, I think there is an argument to say, especially as Izanami autos go through things like wards. Yeah, there's another ward that he used that I don't think had any value whatsoever. I don't even think it blocked an auto. And that's just gold, you know? It's gold that I'm getting on him. So it's important to note little plays like this when you look at the end of a build and you say, why is this guy ahead of me? Well, I didn't spend a singular gold on wards. I didn't spend any gold on potions other than the starting chalice I had. I did buy a 500 pot, but that can also contribute to that same argument. And I'm kind of owning him a little bit here. The extra 10% from Wind Demon and the extra attack speed. So now I'm almost capped without pressing 1. When I press 1, I think I might be fully stacked. But soon it'll get to the point where I'm getting Silver Branch stacks even without pressing 1, which is kind of nuts. So yeah, Chester's, the Scepter, sorry, is also really helping me. The stick that's zapping the minions. It's helping me a lot with like clearing as well. But yeah, I think he gives up red. I'm feeling really strong. It's getting to the point where if the tier goes for a Fearless and doesn't like almost kill me, then I can almost kill him for that. So definitely feeling good scaling up as the god I picked to speedrun games in the first 5 minutes. Turns out she can also have some kind of late game too, which is what I think makes Izanami so scary in Duel, honestly, in the grand scheme of things. And I also want to, I mean, people are gonna maybe not get on the Stormseeker train, but I am fully on it. I think it's a great item just because it gives you basically infinite scaling. You'll never reach the 999 stacks you can get on it, And with Silver Branch, it kind of keeps giving you benefit. Like, to the point where I won't always need to pop my steroid to get, like, insane value out of Silver Branch. So yeah, I actually I thought about Deathbringer last, which I think would have done fine. But then I thought, what if he just pokes me to half, and then I don't like have any sustain apart from like a health chalice. Devos would be good. Also, Devos is really good when we fight to the death, and he's just trying to auto me for the last little bit of damage. Here, I think I should have beads just to win the trade, but it works out. Really good horrific, I think, there, and let's see if he can kill me. Unfortunate, because I believe if I beadsed his knock up on defensive stance, I'd have lifestealed off him enough to win the trade. I also could have maybe tried to make my 3 a little bit more tricky. I 3'd in a very obvious way, but then I also just turned around to hit him, so it's hard to say whether I could have just straight lined away as well. But he gets the Bull Demon, he gets my tower from that, so not feeling great. Got a little bit owned, and I know that I'm almost to the point where if he kills me one more time, he can probably at least get the Phoenix, if not end. But I did get the red buff. Sadly, I didn't pick it up, so he can kind of like fight over the red buff in the short term. But yeah, I'm just playing loose here. I think ideally I get the Devo stacks before we fight again. I think that was a really good ult. I'm surprised that he walked into that one, to be honest. I think if I 3'd more on him, I could have got more damage there, but it's not a big deal, I don't think. So yeah, fully Devo stacked up now. You stack really, really fast late game with Devos, because it's based off damage done, and minions scale up, so... yeah, I'm trying to pressure him at his Phoenix here, because I have a minion wave, and now he's in combat, so it's even worse. And I know I should just hit him. I tried to, like, sit at an angle where where he couldn't fearless me into Phoenix, but somehow he, like, bounced me into the Phoenix, which is a really good play by him. But I didn't die to it. My horrific was kind of perfect. It reduced the damage from his thorns, and it basically just made him a little slug. I chose not to 3 out there, which was a little dicey, if I'm honest. And I did get the Phoenix. He had to eventually give up the Phoenix. One thing Jesse's quite good at, a lot of the best jewelers are good at, whenever they're at, like, the faster character, like the assassin or the warrior, just never dying for no reason. Like, never dying for ceremony. Even if he has to give up the Titan, he won't die for it, you know? Most of the time. And that, you know, you'll win games if you don't die, ever for no reason. So yeah, here's another proxy ward. Getting a little more ahead. Here, I don't even know why I tried to fight him without my 3k pot. Big no-no to have 3,000 in gold and not just back and spend it instantly. So yeah, he's kind of getting bodied now. Every time I go near him, my 3 was down, sadly. Every time I go near him, I'm getting more and more. I'm just like owning him completely. So if he doesn't one-shot me, I'm feeling really good. So here, I've set myself up in a really good spot. I've got a ton of stacks of everything. I've got red pot, my 3k pot, and I just want an honest fight to the death. And I'm kind of spacing as best I can against Tyr and a bunch of other characters that rely on blinking to kill you. You don't want to get red blinked on and give them a free... So I kind of juke his fearless here. The spacing isn't great, but I think my movement was good enough so that I didn't just get owned by his blink. And bam, edited in some heartbeats, and we did the exact opposite of speedrunning. this game. But thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the journey of me improving a little bit with Izanami. And please like. See you guys. Bye bye.